Hey guys, what's up? It's Marco, and today we're doing a TLDR for the most underrated films of 2016. Let's get started. First off, Shin Godzilla. Shin Godzilla is the 31st film in the Godzilla franchise. Came out in Japan this past June, came over to America in October thanks to Funimation Films, and sadly, the film only grossed about $2 million at the box office, which is really unfortunate because Shin Godzilla is a way better Godzilla movie than the 2014 Gareth Edwards film. I'm not going to say Gareth Edwards' Godzilla was bad in any way, it just was not as good as Shin Godzilla. Shin being a triple entendre, meaning true, new, and God. So this is a true Godzilla movie, a new Godzilla movie, and a God Godzilla, which is so accurate. This is a god reincarnated. Godzilla in this film is frightening and terrible and just like evil incarnate. It's beautiful to see all the destruction on the film we have here. Film directed by Anno, who is the creator of Neon Genesis Evangelion, and it shows this is a direct translation. This is almost like a live action adaptation of a Neon Genesis Evangelion episode, replacing angels with Godzilla and Eva units with the Japanese military. And it's beautiful. This movie makes me so happy. And I'm okay. I'm gonna forgive Anno for delaying Eva 4.0 for so many years just because he worked on this movie and just because it turned out so well. And I hope he can continue with sequels to this. And you can take your time with Eva 4.0. Just give me more Godzilla. Okay? Thanks. Second film, Hardcore Henry. Hardcore Henry is the best video game movie of all time, and it's not even based on a video game. The film had a budget of around $2 million and grossed $14 million internationally, which isn't spectacularly great, but that's not the point. The point is that this movie is phenomenal. Like, it's everything a gamer would want in a video game movie, but sadly is missing from every video game movie franchise like Assassin's Creed, Need for Speed, Street Fighter. None of them have what made the games great. And Hardcore Henry is about as close as you get to a good first-person shooter adaptation. Like, this entire movie is first person. It's shot from the perspective of the protagonist, and you have him shooting up, beating up, and totally obliterating all of his enemies. And it's like a mix between Duke Nukem, Doom, Call of Duty, and Grand Theft Auto. This film is a balls-to-the-wall roller coaster ride that is just insane, and it's beautifully crazy and absurd and bizarre, and it has just everything you would kind of expect from a movie that is based on a video game, but it's not based on any video game or any property. It's totally original and new to the filmmakers, but you can tell that the filmmakers had an appreciation for these things that everyone wants to see in a video game movie. And I'm just going to stop talking about video game movies and talk about how this movie is leagues above any other action movie that came out last year. Like, on an action movie level, it is insane that they did all this with a $2 million budget, and like, you could tell sometimes that, yeah, this is a $2 million budget, but it still pulls everything off spectacularly. And the soundtrack to this movie is great. Like, the ending with Queen's Don't Stop Me Now, that is a highlight of the movie, and I recommend that you pick this movie up at Redbox or however you're renting movies. Get a copy some way, somehow, and you'll enjoy the heck out of this. I guarantee it. Alright, on to our next film, Kubo and the Two Strings. Kubo is the fourth Leica film. They're the guys that brought us Coraline, Paranorman, the Box Trolls. Fun fact, a bunch of the Leica crew actually worked on A Nightmare Before Christmas with Tim Burton. Another fun fact, Tim Burton did not direct A Nightmare Before Christmas, he just produced the film. Back to Kubo anyway. Kubo and the Two Strings. It feels like a Studio Ghibli movie brought to life through stop-motion animation, and it very much has this feel of a Japanese fairy tale. There's a lot of heartwarming, heartbreaking, and charming moments in the movie that you couldn't really achieve with 2D animation or a CGI animated movie. And that's kind of the sad part about this, because Leica movies tend to underperform at the box office, with Kubo bringing in only 73 million at the box office with a budget of 60 million. That sounds fine until you realize that marketing budget doubles that. So you have $120 million to spend on a movie that only brought back $73 million. That's not a good business model. So eventually, I'm afraid Universal Pictures can just look at Laika and be like, sorry guys, you're not making enough money for us, pack your bags and leave. And that'll be a sad day for animation, because Laika is the only production studio that I know of that is pioneering and utilizing stop motion animation. And stop motion has been there since the very beginning. The 1930s King Kong, all the way to Ray Harryhausen, all the way to now. And it would be unfortunate to lose that. Unfortunate to lose this great piece of art, this art form that has existed in Hollywood for so long. And I don't want to see that go. Like, I wish more people went to see Laika movies, because they are brilliant and excellent, and they are just beautiful to look at. And if you ever get a chance, please, please, please go back and watch these Laika films and go to see the next one when it does come out. I really don't want this to be a dying art form. And that's kind of what this is, sadly. And the final film on our list is Your Name. If you're a big anime fan, I know what you're thinking. How is Your Name underrated? If anything, it's overrated, because it's been dominating the Japanese box office. It's been breaking records. It's just topped Spirited Away as the #1 anime movie of all time. What's going on here, Marco? Well, here's the thing. In America, Your Name is highly underrated, because the Academy just snubbed the movie of the Best Animated Feature nomination. It's not even nominated for the Oscar this year, which to me is just baffling. It's mind-blowing. Like, how are you going to completely ignore this movie that's just broken international records time and time again? Like, what are you doing? And I think that has to do with the way Americans view animated movies. If it's not Disney, if it's not Pixar, who cares, really? That's the way Americans view animated anything, really. And that's kind of sad, and that's why Your Name has its place on this list. And it's not a happy story, really. I'm kind of bummed that anime is generally viewed as like something for kids, or animation in general is just for kids. Like, I enjoy animation. It's a great art form, and a lot of great stories come out of anime and CGI movies and 2D movies and stop motion animated movies. But for the most part, it's just ignored by both award shows and audiences, and critics. They tend to love them, but that's about it. And that's gonna do it for this list. The most underrated films of 2016. You got Shin Godzilla, Hardcore Henry, Kubo and the Two Strings, and Your Name. I'm sorry for keeping the video so short this week. We will be back next week with more episodes, more podcasts, and I hope you really enjoy this video. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. I'll see you guys next week. Peace!